In these types of situations covering Muay Thai, I'm always more interested in what you think, what the community thinks. Who do you think won it for you? For those of you that watch this fight, Muay Thai, 1FC Joe Nattawut versus Tawanchai. Tell me why also you thought that person won down in the comment section. Now let's talk science. We're looking at this final round. The first significant shot of this round comes as Joe is pulling back and gets caught underneath the elbow with that southpaw kick of Tawanchai, and then he tries to step into range. He level changes and he loads up on that left, and he comes up top with a good left hook that partially lands. You can see Tawanchai's head snap back, so they kind of trade shots right there, but Tawanchai's kick is probably cleaner. But before that body kick earlier, Joe landed a good push kick that was upsetting the rhythm of Tawanchai, and then he was doing some similar stuff, stumping on the lead leg, the lead thigh of Tawanchai a few times. So in between these big moments, there's some small moments where Joe is winning and kind of like upsetting Tawanchai's rhythm with leg kicks and stuff like that. And there's some big moments where Tawanchai, like right here, steps in, misses this lead hook, but catches Joe a little bit on the exit because he has his hands kind of open. Tawanchai does a good job of timing Joe's offensive initiation. As soon as he sees that lead hand go, he launches out that back leg and it gets underneath the elbow, but this shot kind of like lands up more towards the chest and not towards the ribs, and it doesn't get full extension, so it's not that heavy of a shot. In contrast, Joe does a good job of fighting off the back foot, especially in this final round, because for a lot of the fight, he was the front foot pressure fighter and he was more successful there, but he has some success fighting on the back foot. And he times Tawanchai's forward momentum, and Tawanchai's kind of frozen in his position because his feet are together, and he lands a clean knee to the body that was cleaner than the kick from earlier. Tawanchai does a great job of catching this kick, kind of pulling it in, so he can land some shots and also throw him off balance a little bit. But then also great defensive instinct. He gets underneath the potential punch of Joe and then partially lands that jab or lead hook, and then partially lands that left over top of the guard of Joe. It's a good moment. And then Joe kind of lands like a grazing shot on the exit. It's a pretty heavy shot, but it's probably mostly pushing because he's falling back. But yeah, Tawanchai does good in that exchange. Joe has a great setup for this leg kick, uses the hands to bring Tawanchai's attention up top, starts with the jab, steps in with the cross to the body. Tawanchai is focusing on boxing defense, and he's trying to counter with his hands, and in that position, that lead leg is planted, and Joe pulls back out of boxing range to land on that leg while it's planted, doing some good damage. So Joe tries to step in and initiate a clinch, but his arms are tied up in a bad position, and he recognizes that. He sees Tawanchai can attack from there, so he gets out of the way of that potential elbow. But then as he falls back, he does get caught a little bit with that body kick, right? The knee gets inside. So Joe is kind of neutralizing the right arm of Tawanchai. He has full control over that side of his body, but when he throws up that knee, he loosens his grip, he breaks the grip, and so Tawanchai kind of like slips that left arm inside. He frames off of the face, makes room for that right arm. As he makes room, he's also kind of holding him in position. Boom, big up elbow. One of the bigger, more effective shots of this round, if not the biggest so far. When it comes to consistency and the small cumulative shots, Joe is winning that battle in this round pretty clean because of these consistent stumps to the lead leg that are constantly catching Tawanchai, messing up his rhythm, slowing down his forward momentum. And so Joe is winning those small moments in between the big moments. But besides those stumps to the thigh, he's also landing good body shots and roundhouse leg kicks as well. So it's a lot of small accumulative shots that he's landing in between the big moments. But then here's another pretty big moment. He's on the back foot. He sees Tawanchai exploding forward, and it could be a kick because of the way Tawanchai's leg looks, but it also could be a punch. Regardless of what it is, he knows to attack that lead leg, and that's what he does. He slips his head to the outside, avoids the punch, but also attacks that lead leg, scoops it out, and actually trips him a little bit, but Tawanchai regains his balance. Just a well-timed leg kick, and then Tawanchai's framing with that right arm, making room, boom, left over top. So they trade some big shots, but Tawanchai's shot is bigger. It's just great timing on the part of Joe with that leg kick. As Joe is backing up from blocking a head kick, he kind of breaks his stance, regains his stance, and then pendulum jumps in, feints with the lead hand, also measures, but it primarily serves as a feint in my opinion because it brings Tawanchai's attention up once again. Right arm swings also, which is primarily for momentum and balance for the leg kick, but it also serves as a feint as well. And that's why Tawanchai doesn't react to the leg kick, because he's so focused on the hands, and he blasts that leg, very heavy leg kick, which gets a big reaction from Tawanchai. A lot of Joe's game plan, especially in the earlier rounds, seemed to be focused around countering Tawanchai's kicks. Here he catches it, and one version of the counter is catch and attack that standing leg. That's one version of the counter, although that's not as heavy as the shot that's coming up next. Another one that he did more often is get inside of the kicks, which shuts them down before they can get full extension and full power, and then counter with punches once he gets inside of the kicks. That's what he does right here. And even though this is like a southpaw jab, you can see how heavy it is. One of his heavier punches in that 5th round so far. Again, Joe setting good traps off the back foot, letting Tawanchai advance, and then timing those advancements with heavy leg kicks. You can see how heavy it is. Knocks that support leg out, but Tawanchai does graze with a decent cross, but that leg kick was heavier. They get into an exchange. Tawanchai tries to slide that elbow across. That would have been dangerous if that would have landed, but it didn't. Joe gets his head inside, and as he does, he lands like a grazing left. It lands pretty well, but not that well. And then the right hand comes over top. Now that one lands a lot better. And then they kind of go from there, and that's mostly the end of the round for the most part. Now, me personally, going frame by frame, looking at it shot for shot, I would personally give this 5th round to Joe, because in the exchanges and the big moments are kind of even, but towards the end, Joe might even steal some of those, and you might be able to possibly lean towards Joe in the big moments. But even if you give the big moments over to Tawanchai, it's not going to be by much, and you're going to have to kind of favor those small moments in between, those kind of like pot shots, those small single shots, the stumps on the knees, the leg kicks that were like smaller, not as impactful, the body shots. When it comes to those like subtler moments, Joe did better there, and because of those small moments and consistency throughout the round, I think that's why Joe won this 5th round, and I think there's a good argument to be made that he probably won the fight in general, which that's what most people think. That 3rd and 4th round, especially the third was the most dominant round of the fight. Yeah, but like I said in the beginning, I'm more interested in y'all scorecards, because Muay Thai scoring is not my strong suit. It's something I'm trying to learn how to do better. But yeah, probably 3-2 Joe, and he won this 5th round in my opinion. That is all. I will see y'all later.